Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Whiskey Hotel, and today I just want to talk about my opinion on the next-gen consoles and the rumor that there won't be any discs or any physical media. But the gameplay you're looking at is actually probably my best Modern Warfare 3 game in terms of KD, Riot Shield guy. Fun game for you playing at home. Count how many times I embarrassed the Riot Shield guy. Let me know. It's a lot. But, yeah, it ends up being a pretty good game. I'm not going to ruin the score, but it's my highest KD I'm pretty sure that I've gotten so far. It's definitely the highest KD that I have on recording. But, anyway, back to the subject. So there's been a lot of talk in the last week about the next generation for Xbox and Sony. Right now the code names for them are the PlayStation Orbis, most likely called the PlayStation 4. Or the Xbox Durango, most likely going to be called the Xbox 720, which, does anyone else just fucking hate that? We're counting up by 360 now. Whose bright idea was that? It's retarded. I want to start a petition right now. Let's call it the next box. Okay? Isn't that better? The next box? I think it's better. The one after this is going to be called 1080. Come on, go fuck yourself. Anyway, the hot button topic in the last week is that neither of these consoles will use discs, or at the very minimum, if they do use discs, it'll be like a one-time installation, and then that game will be linked to your gamertag / PSN ID. And this has a lot of repercussions in the gaming world. The most notable is that it will almost for sure entirely destroy the used game market. If it's a one-time download, there's no way to resell it, there's no way to get rid of it, it's yours forever. Now, GameStop has a huge problem with this, and I can't find an actual quote, but I had heard that they said that they wouldn't sell the PlayStation 4 or whatever, or the next box, and add 1 to your Riot Shield embarrassment count, because they would like boycott it. Which, okay, that's your stance, GameStop. I'm pretty sure they can get by without you. We all have internet and Amazon, but good luck with that. Personally, I think that's awesome. I cannot stand GameStop. I think they're a terrible company. Their corporate strategies are very ruthless, and they kind of almost blackmail the gaming companies, because without GameStop it's really hard to sell games, but with GameStop you fuck yourself over and lose a lot of money. Because the way it works, and I worked at a GameStop for a couple months, this is exactly how the game sales were described to me by my manager at the time. So when GameStop sells a new game, almost all of that money goes to the developer. There's very little profit in it for GameStop. She quoted $5. So $5 out of 60 goes to GameStop. So 1/12 of that price. Now, when they sell a used game, just about 50% of that is profit. And the way that works is, if you break it down, if it's a high demand game, pretty new game, you'll get like $20 to $30 on trade-in, store credit of course. For cash, it's like minus 10 or 15%. But then, so they give you $20, $25. They'll turn around and try and sell it for $50 or $55, effectively doubling what they paid for it. So that's a huge profit margin. And it's the exact reason why, if someone brought a new game up to me when I was working at GameStop and I scanned it into the computer, if we had a used copy of that, it would come up and say, "Are you sure you don't want to buy a used copy? We have one in stock." And I was required to ask the customer, "We have a used one, do you want to save $5? And game companies hate that. Recently, EA has kind of fought back by including one-time use online codes in all their games, and that code itself costs $10, making it impossible for GameStop to just cut their cost by $5. Because if the code costs 10, then they pretty much have to cut the cost by at least 11 in order for it to make sense to the consumer. So I like that. We don't need GameStop anymore. if everything's download, screw GameStop. We don't need that nasty company around. Or we'll have one more empty store in our nation's malls. I think we'll survive. The other big gripe is that it's just the physical media. People like having discs. I don't even acknowledge this as a valid argument. Like, really? People had the same thoughts when iTunes came out. And you know what, now I'm actually glad that I don't have CDs. It's just more clutter on my desk or bookshelf or whatever. I actually, somewhere in my apartment, I have a book of like 300 CDs, and oh, this is awesome. Watch me embarrass the Riot Shield guy. Yeah, just keep walking. Oh, you blew up. That sucks for you. Somewhere I have a book of like 200 CDs, and I couldn't care less where they are. And then, the other thing is that quality could increase, price could decrease or stay the same, and the reasons behind that are pretty simple. A huge motivating factor behind this is the crackdown on piracy. It'll be a lot harder to pirate games if there's no physical media. Also, just the physical materials of creating discs and case, that cuts down your overhead, making it more money for the developers to be able to spend on production or lower prices or what have you. We don't really know what'll happen with that. We'll just have to wait and see. The other big argument against it is that the whole aspect of like taking a game to your friend's house will be lost. Also, I don't, it's not a valid argument. Does that even happen anymore? I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Most games don't even allow split screen anymore. I think more people connect on Xbox Live. And even if that was the scenario, just tell your fucking friend to come over to your house. If you have the hot new game, make him walk. Why are you trying to carry your game over there? And even worst case scenario, I'm sure it'll be like the current Xbox. You can just pop out your hard drive and take it over there. The game will be connected to your ID. Just put your hard drive in, problem solved. That argument is dead. That's people trying to find something to bitch about. Triple kill. And the final thing is GameFly will die, just like GameStop. I'm sad because I like GameFly, but I'm willing to let it go. And then back to... The one thing is, sorry, I changed my idea on how I was going to say this, is that we don't know how game developers will react when there's no middleman anymore. They could just become just as evil as GameStop currently is. We'll have to wait and see. Without GameStop there to serve as kind of a checks and balances kind of thing, they could either screw us over or they could treat us great. But I think, as a majority, this is a good thing. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think on the subject, and I'll see you next time. Later, dudes.